one of them top games, top environments that, hey, you go in there and you're fighting for your life. You're fighting for that rivalry, and it was just clean old fashioned hate. And I loved watching every moment of it. It was a good game.
One, two, three. I know I'm asking a lot, you guys, but Hunker is down one more time.
Let me get a go dog.
Go dog!
What a weekend. Man, welcome back to the Hunker Down podcast. I'm sick. He's sick, but it don't matter. We're here to talk about Georgia football. If you're recovering from the absolute mayhem of this rivalry week, man, join the club. So,
Absolutely.
we saw the chaos, the upsets. We saw the dominoes fall exactly how we needed them to, setting us up for the most electric SEC championship rematch. This wasn't just about finishing the regular season. It was pure, brutal SEC mathematics, deciding who gets a shot at hoisting that trophy. And our path to Atlanta was cleared on Friday night. Thank you, Longhorns. Appreciate that.
Horns
We're
up.
diving deep in. Yeah, we're diving deep into the defensive battles, the near misses, and the craziest coaching changes that's been going on all day long. We've seen in years. Let's dive right into the action, man. Where we starting at tonight, Ryan?
Man, we got to start with Georgia versus Georgia Tech. I'm going to eat crow on this, Matt. I said we was going to win with 20-plus points, but it wasn't the case Friday. 16-9. We did keep
Yeah.
Georgia Tech out of the end zone. Haynes King threw 19-27, 181 yards. He threw an interception. Can we talk about that interception by Ellis
Yeah.
Robinson, man? What a stud, man. There's been some people that's kind of doubted him, and I haven't for 1 second. He was the highest recruit we've had in a long time coming out of high school and into college. So he's a stud, man, and I was really glad to see him pick off Haynes King. Haynes King was also leading rusher, 10 carries, 39 yards. So they were 4 of 11 on third down. Moving over to the Georgia side, Gunnar Stockton, he probably had the worst game of his Georgia career statistically. 11 for 21, 70 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So that was not pretty. I thought he would have a Heisman moment. Top game, but he didn't. And we're going to put that to bed. His Heisman hopes are done. But Georgia was 6 of 14 on third down. They had 190 total yards rushing. Nate Frazier, 16 carries for 108 yards rushing. Josh McCray filling in for Chauncey Bowens, 13 carries, 43 yards. Zach Branch, man, what an asset to have.
Yeah,
Five receptions, 53 yards, 1 touchdown. So overall, Georgia versus Georgia Tech, defensive game, defensive battle. It's a rivalry game, so super, super stoked with a win. We'll take it. It was ugly. It wasn't pretty, but we'll take it.
For sure. I mean, the defense, man, they were lights out, full stop. Kirby Smart standard. They did what they needed to do, but let's be real about this, man. The offense was ugly. They came into this game averaging, it's 33, 34 points, but they only put up 16, which is definitely uncharacteristic of those guys. Gunner, he had a rough night, like you said. He only threw for 70 yards, and that was a huge drop from his season average, which he usually gets about 224, 225 yards a game. But Tech's defense, give them credit, man. They were aggressive, even getting an early interception, which led to their first field goal. But what saved us, man, it was the ground game.
Yeah.
Nate Frazier was the workhorse. He chewed up the about 108 yards on 16 carries. And the takeaway on this is simple, man. The defense looked great. They had a great run game, but there's a big question mark now on our passing attack heading into our biggest game of the year. So what every team we play now knows, the blueprint is stop Frazier and make Stockton beat you downfield. So that's what they're looking at. So
man, I think Gunnar Stockton can beat you downfield. We've seen it. He's had a great year, I think, and people, if you're starting to doubt Gunnar Stockton, you got another thing coming. I mean, he's gonna do what he has to do. Yeah, he didn't have a great game, and I'll be the first one to say that was probably the worst football game by Gunnar Stockton I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was not pretty. It was just one of them top games, top environments that, hey, you go in there and you're fighting for your life. You're fighting for that rivalry, and it was just clean old fashioned hate. And I loved watching every moment of it. It was a good game, and I love
Oh,
seeing
definitely.
us. I love seeing us beat.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what it was? It was
Well,
a win.
it was a win.
It was
Yeah,
a win. So there we
that's
go.
right.
So, well, moving on, man. I want to jump into the next game of the week, which was the Texas A&M game. And this is where Georgia fans could actually breathe a sigh of relief that what they call it is the Lone Star Showdown. The rivalry's back. It was been a rivalry for years, but when Texas moved over to the SEC, that rivalry stopped for a while. But anyways, the loss ended A&M's potential perfect season, man. That was their first loss of the season. It crushed their SEC title hopes, and
It
it sent
did.
us that way. So,
Yeah.
but what do you got on this game, Ryan?
Yeah, Marcel Reed, Texas A&M quarterback. He was 20 of 32, 180 yards, two interceptions. He had 12 carries, 71 yards. He was the leading rusher. E.J. Smith, 4 carries, run back, 27 yards rushing, one touchdown. And I've said this name before on the show, AC Concepcion. He impresses me. One carry, he rushed. He rushed this one. One carry, 8 yards for a touchdown, and he also had 5 receptions on the day for 57 yards.
Yeah,
Talk about Texas here, man. I mean, they were down. They come back. Arch Manning kind of took over this game. 14 to 29, 179 yards, one touchdown, 7 carries, 53 yards, one rushing touchdown. Man, he played good. I mean,
man, he
I
looked really good. Yeah, he looked good.
I was impressed. I mean, their running back Wisner, he had 19 carries, 155 yards rushing, and Ryan Wingo, their wide receiver, 4 receptions, 34 yards, and a touchdown. So that puts Texas on top there, 27-17. A&M was 14 on third down, and Texas was 4 of 13 on third down. The time of possession, A&M had the ball for 32 minutes and 15 seconds, and Texas had the ball for 27 minutes and 45 seconds. So overall, this game was a classic, instant classic, and that puts the Dogs in the SEC championship game, and we're so thankful. Hook 'em horns, baby. Let's go.
Well, let me ask you this: after this win for Texas, where do you think that puts them in the rankings? Does it put them back into the talk of being in the playoffs?
As much as I want them to be, no, you're not getting a. I don't think you'll get a three-loss team, man. But they have a good argument here.
Yeah,
Texas has a real good argument. If they wouldn't have scheduled Ohio State at the beginning of the year, they'd be sitting here at 10-2, and
yeah,
that would
you're
be
right.
putting them in the playoff conversation. So they do have a good argument, but at the same time, they have 3 losses, and that Florida loss, man, it's killing them.
Yes.
But so I hate it for them. I don't think they get in, but they have a good argument, and I think Sarkisian's going to push that argument as much as he can.
Well, and with A&M, this loss, it's not going to kick them out of the playoffs.
No,
It's going to
no,
put them right where we were at. We didn't
yeah,
wasn't going to play in the championship, and now we are. But yeah,
right.
I believe Texas A&M still going to be there. I don't know where they're going to be as far as when the rankings come out Tuesday, but they'll still be in that playoff picture for sure.
Hmm.
Next game we want to break down for you guys is the Alabama versus Auburn, the Iron Bowl. This game never fails to deliver some chaos, from the kick six to the 4th and 31 play a couple of years ago. Number 10 Alabama was under a lot of pressure, needing a victory to keep their SEC hopes alive. So they went in there and
You
they took
know,
care of business.
Matt, I was watching this game, and I just couldn't help myself but laugh because it seems like every time Alabama gets themselves on the ropes, they find a way to win. And
Yep.
I was just sitting there. I couldn't help myself. Simpson, 19 of 35, 122 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jam Miller, the running back, 15 carries, 83 yards rushing. That was one concern I had for Alabama this season is their run game.
Yeah.
Their run game has been not too good, but they had a good night in the running game. And then Standout wide receiver, Isaiah Horton. He had himself a day. He had a hat trick, 5 receptions, 35 yards, 3 touchdowns. So, they were 4 of 17 on third down, and they did what they had to do. Credit to Auburn for keeping this close. Ashton
Yeah.
Daniels, 18 of 39, 259 yards, 1 touchdown. He also threw an interception. He had 23 carries and 108 yards. He was their leading rusher. Malcolm Simmons, 3 receptions, 143 yards, and a touchdown. They were 8 of 19 on third down. So, they kept this game close. Their wide receiver, Cam Coleman, I was really expecting him to have a good game, and he just, he fumbled the ball there late, and that cost him the game.
Yes.
I mean, they were driving down the field to score, and then that cost them the game. So instant classic. Iron Bowl's
Yep.
always a classic, and this week has been special, man. It's rivalry week, and it's just been so good to watch.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend of football, man. A lot of changes, some upsets, and now we're going to roll into this, talk about these coaching carousels. It's just, there is so much going on with college football this week. So much.
Absolutely.
But and that's what I want to roll into. We know Bama held on to that win for another win at the Iron Bowl, and now they're going to see us next Saturday. I cannot wait for that game. We'll have a video up for you guys to preview that game as well. But let's roll into the SEC coaching carousel, man. It seems like half the coaches have gotten fired this season. Before we even get into that, what do you think? What's your thoughts on that with coaches getting fired mid-season? What are your thoughts on that?
Man, it's tough, especially on the players. I hate it for the players. I really do. You commit to a school, you commit to a coach to play for, and they get fired. And that's a part of it nowadays. It's if you're not back in the day, if you had some rough seasons, you still kind of kept your job. There were some circumstances that you'd get fired. Now it seems like you have 3 years or less to make a run at this playoff. If you don't, you're getting fired or you're on the hot seat. So I think it sucks really, but I think it is what it is. And there was a lot of coaches this year that got fired, and then there's a lot that have changed and left their teams to go to others. And we're about to dive into that. Matt, you want to go ahead and name off some coaches for us that kind of found jobs today?
Yeah, now we're going to get to Lane Kiffin, but we'll save him for last. Ryan Silverfield, man, he was named as a head coach at Arkansas. The Razorbacks, they opted for stability by bringing him in. He's a coach who built Memphis into a consistent winner. He had a 25 overall record. Yeah, and a strong bowl record. He's steady. He's got a steady hand. He desperately is needed in the brutal SEC, baby. So, yeah. But next we got Alex Golish. He was named as the head coach there at Auburn, formerly at USF. He's all about sustained success through player-driven accountability, man. I mean, I think that's a good hire for them as well.
Yeah, I really like him.
Like him. I do too. And got a rising star, man, John Summerall, going to Florida. And I thought Florida was going to really go after Lane harder than they did, but I think what LSU was offering was way more than what Florida would have been comfortable with. So Florida snagged a huge star with him. Won back-to-back Sun Belt titles at Troy. And the Gators are betting on his championship pedigree to bring it there.
Yeah, he's coming from Tulane now, but he's good. He's a good hire. I really like John Summerall. I think Florida's going to fall in love with this guy. Coming from Billy Napier to John Summerall, I think that's an upgrade at coaching, and you can't go wrong with upgrading. So
I agree. I believe he was 9-5 at Tulane, and I think it opens up the door for Florida. I think it's a good hire for him. With Lane leaving, we know he's going to LSU. That opened up the head coaching spot at Ole Miss, and Pete Golden got the call for that. So he's going to step in those shoes, and let's see if he can lead those guys on through this playoff. Man, I'm gonna tell you what. I know Lane really wanted to stay and coach these guys in the playoff, and I know the kids wanted him there as well. And I wish that could have worked out a little bit better for those guys, and Lane could have stayed and had his playoff run with Ole Miss. But You can't make this stuff up, man. Kiffin ditches Ole Miss right before they go into the playoffs. But the media is calling this the ultimate slap in the face to the Rebels.
Yeah.
But I can't blame him, man. Look where he's going. Look at the paycheck he's getting, and look at all the resources they have at LSU, more than they have at Ole Miss. I mean, you got some people with some deep pockets in Louisiana, man, and they love their Tigers. So
A part of me thought Lane might stay at Ole Miss just because of what he's built Ole Miss from the ground
yeah,
up. I mean, he took Ole Miss from nothing and took them all the way to the playoffs. And I know for a fact that he was wanting to coach them boys. I mean, and I don't blame the athletic director there for not letting him. I mean, with tampering and NIL and all this, and he's probably taking some of his coaching staff with him. So
I guarantee you he is. Yeah,
I don't blame him a bit. And I think they did what they had to do in hiring Pete Golden. I think he's one of them guys that has had experience. He's never been a head coach, but he's one of those guys that has been at Alabama. He came over and helped Lane build this program. So he got the call, and I'm excited to see what he'll do in the playoff and going forward. But Lane to LSU, I think that's a good move for him. The LSU got him a good coach. I
oh
never
yeah.
really was a big fan of Brian Kelly. When they hired him from Notre Dame, I was like, man, they need to find somebody else.
I just never thought he was a good fit there.
I don't think he was, and I think Lane is going to be a perfect fit for LSU. He's good at recruiting. He's good at getting these kids hopped up, and I'm excited because listen to this. Ole Miss and LSU are going to tee it off, I think, in Oxford next year. So that game is going to be
That's going to be a good
insane.
game. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be a good game.
And
Well,
did you see today, did you see the video of him getting into the airplane and all the Ole Miss fans was cussing him, and
yeah,
it kind of reminds me of him leaving Tennessee.
yep. They're
Anyway,
mad.
they are.
I understand it. I mean, if Kirby left us, I'd be mad.
Yeah, I would
But
too.
rolling into our next topic, man, it's title week. It's time for the final gateway to the college football playoff. Yeah, these games determine not just conference titles, but the four crucial round byes in the expanded 12-team field. Well, let me see. The first one that I want to talk about is the ACC championship game with Virginia versus Duke. The number 18 Cavaliers are back in the title game. This is their first time since 2019 securing a 10-win season, and this is the second time they've done that 10-win season. So they already dominated Duke earlier this season. 31-17, and so they get to play them again in this championship. And I'm very surprised at the beginning of the season. I really thought I'd see Miami in this game,
I did.
but it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, I don't know if Miami's going to get in the playoff. I really don't. I mean,
I don't either.
but they're trying to sneak their way in, but I don't see because the ACC champion is going to get in, so that's one spot for the ACC. I don't know if they get in, Matt.
I don't either. I really don't. I think I would blame their quarterback. Carson
Yeah,
Beck. Moving on to the Big 12, man. BYU versus Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship. Texas Tech's the favorite, of course, in this game. BYU got absolutely thumped by Tech earlier this year, so they have to win this rematch to control their CFP destiny. So if BYU loses, they're out of the picture for the playoffs. So they've got that going for them. They got that what can drive them, but
yeah,
analytics, they're giving BYU like a 33% chance to win, so this is must-win territory for those guys.
they played earlier in the season. Texas Tech dominated. I mean,
Oh, yeah, they thumped them.
Texas Tech's in the playoff, and they're going to be hard to beat. I think so. It'll be a good game.
I do too. Well, Big Ten championship, Ohio State and Indiana, man, number 1 versus number 2. Now, that's going to be an awesome game to watch, and I cannot wait to see it. Who do you got in that game, Ryan? Who you got?
Ohio State, and it won't be close. Indiana, as much as I hate to say it, I don't think they belong. To me, that and I could be wrong. I could eat crow again, but I don't think. I think they're going to get steamrolled out of the playoff, and they'll probably get a first round exit if they don't get a bye. But uh, I think Ohio State's going to win big. Ohio State finally beat Michigan. They finally
Yeah,
won.
yeah,
They went into the big house and really ran away with the game.
they did.
Julian Sayin had a great game. They got to Bryce Underwood on defense, and they did really well. I think Ohio State, they're going to be hard to beat, boy. They're going to be tough.
I believe so. I'm right there with you. They're looking amazing this year. But that is going to be a
Hey,
great game. Indiana's looking good too,
right?
so it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, Ryan Day. I don't think he's no longer on the hot seat anymore.
No,
That national championship saved him last year. But if he would have lost to Michigan this year, he would have been on the hot seat, and that saved him. I think so. I think Ryan Day is going to be there for a while now.
yeah, I do too. Well, Georgia fans, here we
This is
go.
it.
The SEC
we,
championship.
we
All
have
right,
been
the
here.
matchup we always end up with, man. This is the fifth time in the SEC championship game, and Bama holds a major advantage. They're a perfect 4-0 against us in this game, and 9-4 overall since 1992. They also beat us earlier this season, 24-21. But here's the kicker: Vegas opened the spread with Georgia favored by 1.5 points already. So I mean, I don't know. Georgia's 8-0
Yeah,
since that loss with Bama earlier this
yeah,
season. So Bama's there though. This game's about Georgia finally overcoming the Bama factor. We did it once in the national championship, but we got to do it in this SEC championship game, man.
absolutely.
So
The key to the game is going to really be on the defensive side of the ball for us. We got to stop Ty Simpson. He, like I said earlier, I was sitting there last night just laughing because he keeps getting lucky. He had, I think it was like 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and he
yeah,
ran, and he was dodging people, and he got the first down. I was just sitting there like, man, Alabama is probably the luckiest football team I've ever seen. But like I said, it'll come down to Georgia's defense. I think Gunnar Stockton, he's going to have to play better than what he did this
I
past
think he
weekend.
will. I think he's going to show up.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll be like you. We ate some crow this weekend, but hey, we came out with the win. But hopefully he shows up and shows out this Saturday, man. And to sign this thing off, what a ride this weekend was. We will be coming at you with some more content of the SEC championship game. But the game's set, man. The coaching world's upside down. We're heading into a massive title Saturday, and let's that left. It's just going to be a great weekend. Bottom line.
it is.
Bottom line.
Absolutely.
So
We're going to championship weekend, man. It's going to be great, and I'm super excited. We have made it. I didn't think Georgia was going to sneak in there, and we did, and we're here, and we're going to go play Alabama, and we're going to beat down the Tide. I'm telling you
that's
right
it.
now, we're going in that game and we're going to win it. I'm telling you right now, I'm calling it. Georgia's going to win it, and it's going to be close. I'm not going to say we're going to beat them by 20 points, but we're going to beat them maybe by a last-minute field goal or last-minute touchdown, put the game away. And, Matt, as always, we say
That's it,
around
man.
here, go,
Go dogs.
dogs, sick 'em.
Sick 'em. Let's go, baby. We'll see you
Go
soon.
dogs.
Like and subscribe. Like and
I know
subscribe.
I'm
There you
asking a
go.
lot,
Yeah,
you
go
guys, but
dogs.
Hunker
Go
is
Dogs.
down one more time.
Let me get a go dog.
Go, go!